In the stillness of the night, when stars lean low to kiss the horizon, there is a river that never sleeps. It winds like a silver serpent through the sleeping valleys of America. Its song older than memory, older than the first dream. The elders called it the River of Dreams, a place where the spirit world and the waking world meet. They said if you listen closely, you can hear the river whispering stories, stories carried from the mountains, through forests, across prairies, all the way to the ocean's edge. Tonight, let us follow its flow. Let us drift with it through the lands where the ancestors once walked, where each stone remembers a name, and each breeze carries a prayer. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. The river calls to you now. The air is cool and soft against your skin. You stand beside the water's edge, moonlight spilling like liquid glass across the current. Fireflies blink along the reeds, tiny lanterns lighting your path. A single sound fills the night, the gentle rush of water meeting earth. Somewhere, an owl hoots, low and distant. It is the sound of the land breathing, dreaming, waiting. As you step closer, the river seems to speak, not in words, but in feeling, in memories that are not your own. You say mages, flashes of stories, carried by time. A canoe drifting under starlight. A child listening to the old ones beside the fire. A woman singing to the dawn, her voice blending with the flow of water. And then silence. A deep, infinite calm. The river wants to show you something. You kneel, touching the surface, and ripples expand outward. Rings of light fading into shadow. The current pulls you in gently, not as a danger, but as an invitation. You feel yourself drifting, your body weightless, floating along the slow, shimmering stream of dreams. You find yourself in another time, the ancient beginning, when rivers still spoke and stars were still being named. The land around you is untouched. Endless plains, tall grass, swaying like waves in a quiet sea. Buffalo moves slowly in the distance, their silhouettes like living mountains. You hear the voice again, the river's whisper, now taking the shape of a story. There was once a boy named Tawa, born beside the great river. His people called themselves the keepers of the flow, for they believed the river's soul flowed through their own hearts. Every sunrise, Tawa would go to the riverbank and listen, believing the water spoke to him in dreams. Tawa's mother often found him sitting by the shore, his small feet buried in wet sand, his eyes reflecting clouds. "Why do you sit so long, my child? Sit, ask it." And Tawa would answer, "Because the river dreams, mother. It dreams of us all." The people smiled at his words, thinking them the fancies of a child. But as the moons passed, Tawa began to change. He could sense when the rains would come. He knew where the fish would gather before the floods. He even spoke of the stars moving with the rhythm of the river's pulse. The elders grew quiet when he spoke, for they knew the river sometimes chose a listener, a dream keeper, one who could hear both the spirit of the water and the breath of the wind. One night, under a crimson moon, Tawa dreamed of a drought. He saw the river's bones exposed, dry, cracked earth where once life had flowed. In his dream, a great Hyron spoke. "The river sleeps when hearts forget to listen. Go to the mountains, child of water. Wake the source before all is lost." When Tawa awoke, he told the elders what he had seen. Though some doubted him, the old chief placed a hand on his shoulder. "The river has chosen you," he sighed softly. "Follow its song." And so, Tawa began his journey upstream against the flow, following the voice of water and wind. You float beside him now, unseen but near, carried by the same invisible current that guides all dreamers. The forest grows thick as he walks. Birds call through the canopy, and the scent of pine mixes with the damp breath of earth. The sound of water grows faint, replaced by the hush of wind through branches. For days he travels, sleeping beneath stars, waking with dawn's pale light, and always the same whisper fills his mind. Wake the source. As the night deepens, you feel the pull of the river softening again. The dream begins to thin, like mist fading from morning hills. The voice returns, the same ancient tone that greeted you at the beginning. All rivers begin with one drop of rain, and every dream begins with one whisper. The sound fades, leaving only the night's calm and the soft rhythm of your breathing. Gentle flute music rises, fading into the sound of a flowing stream. You are still floating, drifting, dreaming. The river carries you onward, toward the next story, waiting beyond the bend. The river hums beneath the moonlight, endless, patient, alive. You are still drifting, wrapped in the hush of dreams, following the faint shimmer of Tawa's footsteps as he journeys upstream. The boy walks alone now, yet the spirits of water and sky travel beside him, unseen but ever near. The air grows colder as he climbs. Mist gathers along the edges of the trees, curling like breath from sleeping giants. He listens, always listens for the song of the source, but the river is quiet here. Its laughter has faded into a low, distant murmur. The pebbles beneath his feet glisten with dew, and his reflection looks older, touched by something beyond years. Days pass, though time has little meaning in dreams. The moon changes her face, from silver to gold, then back again. Still Tawa wakes. Still he listens. One morning, he reaches a clearing where the trees open wide to reveal a stone circle. At its center flows a spring, small, almost shy, bubbling gently through cracks of moss. He kneels, dipping his hands into the water, and feels its pulse. Faint but steady, like a heartbeat slowing with exhaustion. A voice stirs from the ripples. It is neither male nor female, but old, older than earth itself. "Child of the river," the voice whispers, "why do you come so far from your people?" Tawa bows his head. "The river grows tired," he says. Its voice fades. The fish no longer return. The rains have forgotten our fields. The water glimmers softly, almost like eyes blinking. And what would you do, little dreamkeeper? What will you give to wake the source? Tawa hesitates. He is only a child, yet within his chest burns a strange courage. The kind born not of strength, but of love. "I will give what I have," he says. "My dreams." The wind sighs through the trees. For a long moment, there is only silence. Then a ripple spreads across the spring, glowing with faint light. "Then listen well," the voice replies. "Dreams are rivers too. They flow from heart to heart, from world to world, but they grow dry when people forget to honor them. To wake me, you must find the three keepers, the spirit of stone, the spirit of wind, and the spirit of fire. Only when they remember the song of the river will the waters flow again." Tawa bows deeply. The light fades, and with it, the voice disappears. When Erisis, the morning sun, spills through the trees, warm, golden, alive, he knows what he must do. The boy walks eastward, guided by the whisper of his heartbeat and the murmur of hidden streams. The land becomes rough and jagged hills, folding into cliffs, cliffs into ancient towers of rock. By twilight, he reaches a great canyon, red and silent, carved by centuries of forgotten rain. He stands at its edge, the wind tugging at his hair, and calls softly, "Spirit of stone, I seek your strength." The river sleeps, and the world grows thirsty. Will you help me wake the source? For a long while, there is no reply. Then the ground trembles. A deep rumble echoes through the cliffs, and from the canyon wall, a face begins to form, vast and solemn, shaped by shadow and moonlight. "I am stone," the voice booms. "I have stood since the world was young. I have seen rivers carve my bones and time wear away my pride. Why should I move now?" Tawa bows low. "Because even the strongest need the river," he says. "Without its flow, you will turn to dust." The spirit of stone is silent, then laughs, a sound like thunder rolling through valleys. "You are wise for one so small. If you can carry my weight in your heart, I will lend you my strength." Tawa places his hand upon the canyon wall. It is cold, solid, eternal. But as he closes his eyes, the weight becomes light, not a burden, but a grounding calm. Go. The stone murmurs. And remember, strength is not stillness, but endurance. When Tawa opens his eyes, a small stone rests in his palm, glowing faintly blue. The first keeper has awakened. Tawa continues his journey, leaving the canyons for the open plains. The grass waves like an emerald ocean beneath the rising moon. Every gust feels alive, playful, curious, ancient. The boy lifts his face to the sky and calls, "Spirit of wind, will you guide me?" The source sleeps, and the river grows weak. A laugh dances through the air, light and musical. From the horizon, a spiral of silver mist forms, spinning and swirling until it shapes a figure, tall, slender, with hair like drifting smoke. "I am the wind," she says, her voice like the sigh of clouds. "Why should I slow my dance for the dreams of mortals?" Tawa closes his eyes and listens. He feels her movement in his lungs, in his heartbeat, in the rustle of grass. "You are the breath of the world," he says softly. "Without you, even the river cannot sing. But when you dance with the water, the earth becomes alive." The wind tilts her head, intrigued. Then she circles around him, lifting his hair, tugging at his sleeves, laughing softly. "You speak truth, little dreamkeeper. If you can carry my freedom without losing your path, I will lend you my song." She breathes upon his forehead, cool and light. Tawa feels his spirit rise, unbound, weightless, free. When she fades, a feather drifts down, landing gently in his hand, white glimmering, still warm from her breath. The second keeper has awakened. That night, Tawa builds a small fire by the river's bend. He places the glowing stone and the feather beside him. The flame dances softly, its light mingling with the reflection of stars upon the water. He thinks of his people, of his mother's voice, the laughter of children, the songs sung at dusk. He whispers a prayer to the river, not in words, but in gratitude. The river listens, and somewhere beyond sight, in the realm of dreams, the source stirs. Faintly, like the first drop of rain before a storm. The river carries you onward once more. You drift through Tawa's dream, feeling both his weariness and his courage. The water glows beneath you, and stars shimmer above like the eyes of spirits watching over your sleep. As the current slows, the voice of the river returns, soft and infinite. The dream flows onward. Little listener, the fire waits beyond the horizon. The night grows colder as the moon climbs higher, a silver eye. Watching the sleeping earth, you are still drifting along the river of dreams, its current gentle and patient beneath you. Tawa walks beside it in another time, his feet light upon the soil, carrying the gifts of stone and wind, the tokens of two spirits who have awakened from their long rest. But one more keeper remains. The spirit of fire, fierce, proud, unpredictable. To wake the source, Tawa must face the flame that both creates and destroys. He travels southward, where the air smells of dust and wild sage. The land is dry now, the grass brittle beneath his steps. Even the sky seems parched, a pale, copper canvas stretched above a horizon of heat. Days pass with no river, no shade, only the sun watching silently from above. Tawa's lips crack, his feet ache, but he does not stop. Each night, he holds the stone and the feather close, whispering prayers to the river. "Guide me, old friend, lead me to the heart of fire." One evening, as dusk bleeds across the sky, a faint glow appears in the distance, orange and alive. It flickers like a star fallen to the ground. Tawa walks toward it, though the air grows thick and hot. When he reaches the source, he finds a vast pit of flame surrounded by blackened earth. The fire rises and twists like a living spirit, sparks dancing in the air like restless souls. The heat is fierce, yet strangely beautiful, alive, humming, powerful. Tawa kneels at the edge and calls, "Spirit of fire, I come to seek your gift." The river fades, and the source sleeps. The stone has given strength. The wind has given song. Will you share your light? For a moment, Nothing stirs. Then the flames gather, forming the shape of a great figure. Eyes glowing amber, hair like molten gold. "I am fire," it says, its voice deep and crackling. "I devour and I give. I destroy and I renew. Why should I burn for your river, child of water?" Tawa shields his face from the heat but stands firm. "Because without you, there is no warmth. The seeds will not wake. The hearts will not rise. You and the river are not enemies. You are balance." The flames pause, then shift, curling like a smile. "Balance," fire repeats, almost softly. "Many fear me, few understand." The spirit extends a hand of flame, the air shimmering with heat. "If you wish to carry my light, you must face my truth. Step into the fire, Dreamkeeper, and do not turn away." Tawa hesitates. The heat licks at his skin, his heart pounding with both fear and awe. But he remembers the words of the old chief. "The river has chosen you." He closes his eyes and steps forward. The flames surround him instantly, but they do not burn. They swirl, dancing around his body like golden wind. He feels warmth, not pain. Strength, not destruction. In the heart of the fire, he sees visions, his mother's laughter, his people's songs, the flow of the great river shimmering beneath starlight. He understands now. The river's flow, the wind's breath, the stone's stillness, the fire's heart, all are one rhythm. The spirit speaks again. "You've walked through fear and found harmony. Take my ember, and remember, light lives not to consume, but to guide." The fire fades, leaving a single glowing coal resting in his hands. It beats softly, like a heart. The third keeper has awakened. As Tawa steps from the ashes, the world around him changes. A breeze rises, the wind's laughter, soft and free. The ground beneath his feet hums. The stone's strength, deep and steady. And from the horizon, light spills across the sky, the fire's warmth, radiant and alive. He places the glowing ember beside the stone and the feather. They shimmer together, merging their light into a single pulse that beats in rhythm with the earth. Then, far in the distance, he hears it. The first murmur of water, faint but growing, like music remembered. The river is waking. He follows the sound back through the plains and valleys, each step lighter than the one before. The drought-cracked earth begins to soften beneath the returning rain. Sprouts of green emerge from the soil, bending gently toward the sky. The air smells of life again. By the time he reaches the great river, it is flowing strong and full, its surface shining like liquid dawn. The people of his village stand at the banks, eyes wide with wonder. Tawa's mother runs to him, tears glimmering on her cheeks. "My son," she whispers, "the river has returned." Tawa smiles, kneeling beside the water. "It never left us." Sois. Softly, it only slept within our hearts. He opens his hand, letting the three gifts, stone, feather, ember, drift into the current. They glow briefly, then vanish beneath the surface. The water ripples outward, shining under the sun. That night, the people gather by the riverside. They light fires and sing songs of gratitude. The river hums with them, a deep, content rhythm flowing beneath their voices. The elders tell of the boy who walked upstream, who spoke to spirits and carried their gifts. They say that when he sleeps, the river still whispers to him, and his dreams keep its waters pure. And so, he is remembered Tawa, the dream keeper of the river. The sound of the river grows clearer around you now, closer, more alive. It laps gently at your ears, like a lullaby made of time and memory. The current carries you softly, effortlessly, through the stars' reflection. The voice of the river returns. Once more calm, infinite, ancient. The fire's heart burns quietly now. The stone's strength anchors your soul, and the wind carries your dreams onward. Rest, traveler. Of the night, you have heard the river's song. Sleep settles around you. You drift, carried by the same current that once guided Tawa. The world breathes in rhythm with your dreams, and far away, in the unseen lands of spirit, the river of dreams continues to flow, endless, eternal, whispering stories to all who will listen. The fire has quieted, its warmth melting into the soft hum of the earth. You are floating again, weightless.com, carried by the same river that once whispered to Tawa, the dreamkeeper. But tonight, something has changed. The current feels deeper, alive with 100 hidden voices, murmuring just beneath the surface. They are not of this world, yet not strangers either. They are the memories of water, ancient, fluid, eternal. The river carries you through a landscape, half real, half dream. Above you, the stars shimmer like drifting embers. Below, reflections twist into shapes, faces, feathers, flames, fading as quickly as they appear. You close your eyes. You listen, and in the distance, a song begins to rise. Soft at first, then fuller. Layered like the flow of time itself, it is the song of the river people, a song once sung by the first dreamers who walked the land. Each note tells a story of birth, of growth, of loss, of renewal. Each word is carried on the current like a secret shared between worlds. The song swells, surrounding you until you feel it inside your chest, pulsing in rhythm with your heartbeat. You begin to understand the language of water, the voice beneath its surface. A whisper curls around your mind. All that lives remembers the river, for all that breathes is born from its flow. The current quickens slightly, and the voices multiply, not frightening, but familiar, like the hum of 1,000 dreams meeting in the dark. We are the reflections, they murmur. The river's memory, every tear shed in sorrow, every drop spilled in joy, all return here. You drift through them, their presence soft and shimmering, like threads of moonlight weaving through your soul. Suddenly, the water grows still. You open your eyes to find yourself standing, not floating in a place beyond time. The river lies before you, but now its surface is smooth as glass, reflecting the heavens in perfect silence. Around you rise tall trees, their branches heavy with silver leaves. The air is cool, glowing faintly with light that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. And from the mirror of the river, a figure rises, shaped of pure water, transparent yet radiant. Its eyes are deep pools, reflecting stars within stars. Do not be afraid, it says. You walk within the memory of the river of dreams. You bow your head, though you do not know why. There is something sacred about this being, something older than language itself. You have listened to our songs, the voice continues. You have followed the path of the Dreamkeeper. Now, it is your turn to speak. Tell us, listener of the night, what do you seek from the river? You search for words, but none come easily. In your art, you feel 1,000 small longings, for peace, for rest, for connection, for meaning. And as you think, the river listens. It feels your thoughts as if they are ripples upon its surface. Finally, you whisper, I seek stillness. I seek to remember what the world forgets, that all things are one. The spirit smiles, the ripples glowing around its form. Then you understand. For stillness is not the absence of motion, but harmony in motion, and remembrance is the dream that keeps the world alive. The river spirit lifts its hand, and from the water rise shapes echoes of time. You see a mother cradling her child by a fire, a hunter thanking the deer he has taken, a girl whispering her hopes to the stars, the storm breaking over a desert after years of thirst. Each image shimmers and fades back into the water. The river remembers every kindness, the voice says, and it forgives every sorrow. It carries the laughter of children and the tears of the weary. It holds them both and turns them into life. You kneel by the bank, touching the surface. The water feels warm now, like a heartbeat beneath your fingertips. For a moment, silence returns. Then the spirit's tone deepens, its words carrying the weight of eternity. But the river also dreams. It dreams of the ones who will come after you, of hands that will touch its waters, of hearts that will listen to its song. The world forgets, yet the river remembers. Promise, listener. Promise to carry its story forward. You nod slowly, your voice soft as wind through reeds. A promise. The spirit nods once, then begins to dissolve its body, turning to mist, to light, to rain. Each droplet lands upon your skin, cool and shining, and where they touch, they leave faint ripples of calm that spread through your soul. The sky darkens, not with night, but with the closing of a dream. The current begins to move again, drawing you gently downstream. As you drift once more, the river's song changes lower now, deeper, filled with echoes of what has been and what will be. You feel as though you are part of it, not a traveler, but a current. Within the current, a dream within the dream. Above you, stars reflect across the water in constellations you've never seen, swirling shapes that tell stories of unity, of renewal, of eternal flow. The river's voice returns, fainter now, yet intimate, as if whispering directly into your mind. Every listener becomes a dream keeper. Every dream keeper becomes a river, and every river, one day, returns to the source. You float through the darkness, but it is no longer empty. You are surrounded by light, soft, golden, breathing. Your thoughts dissolve into calm. Your heartbeat matches the rhythm of the water. You are no longer separate from the world. You are part of it. A thread woven through the tapestry of night. And as you drift toward sleep, the last thing you hear is the voice of the river of dreams, gentle and eternal. Rest now, little one. You have heard the voices beneath the water. Let them carry you home. The sound becomes softer, softer still, until only your breathing remains. You sleep. You dream. And somewhere, far beyond the veil of waking, the river flows on, singing its endless song to the stars. That river cradles you in silence now. The dreams have thinned to mist, the voices beneath the water growing faint like stars fading before dawn. You float through a realm where time does not flow as it once did. Here, everything, sky, water, breath, thought, moves in a single rhythm. The current begins to quicken. You feel a pull, gentle but certain, guiding you forward. The river is leading you somewhere older than memory, somewhere sacred. You are being drawn toward the source, the heart of the river of dreams. The world around you shifts. The air hums, vibrating with energy. The sky glows not with sunlight, but with something deeper, a light that feels like understanding, like the first moment of creation. The banks of the river fade into mist, leaving only endless water stretching before you. But this water is unlike any other. It shines with all colors at once, as if the very soul of existence has taken liquid form. You breathe in, and the air tastes like rain and starlight. Every sound, every ripple, feels alive, whispering in a language older than words. From the depths of the glowing river, a shape begins to rise. It is vast and gentle, shifting like liquid light, impossible to define, part human, part wave, part sky. Its voice is not heard with ears, but within the heart itself. You have come far, dream traveler. The voice says, each word flowing like music. Few follow the current to its beginning. Few are still. Remember what they find? You bow your head, feeling warmth radiate from within. Are you the source? You ask softly. I am that which the river remembers, it replies. I am the first drop that dreamed itself into a world. I am the song that began before breath. You gaze into the spirit's shifting light, and within it, you see glimpses of everything. Mountains being born from stone, storms learning to weep, the first laughter of humankind. It is creation itself, flowing endlessly in the form of a river. The spirit speaks again. You have heard the stories carried by the current. You have met the spirits of stone, wind, and fire. You have listened to the voices beneath the water. Now you must listen to yourself. The water brightens around you, and suddenly, You see your reflection upon its surface. But it is not only you, it is every version of you that has ever dreamed. Every life you have touched. Every tear and smile you have given to the world. The source is not apart from you. The spirit whispers. It flows within every heart that dares to feel. The river of dreams is the river of being. You close your eyes, and in the stillness that follows, you feel something open inside you, like a gate swinging wide into an endless garden of light. Memories rise, not just your own, but those of the world itself. The laughter of children in summer rain, the song of wind over prairie grass, the heartbeat of the earth beneath quiet forests. Each one a droplet in the great stream of existence. The spirit continues, its tone now tender, like a parent speaking to a child. Every dream you dream flows back to me. Every kindness you give becomes rain for the next soul in need. You are never lost, never forgotten. Only moving, always returning. The current circles you slowly, wrapping you in light. It feels like warmth, like forgiveness, like home. And then, softly, the voice asks, "What will you do when you return to the waking world?" You pause, listening to the sound of your heartbeat blending with the flow of the water. "I will remember," you whisper. "I will carry your song and share it with those who have forgotten how to listen." A quiet ripple of joy moves through the river, as if the entire world smiled at once. "Then you are ready," the spirit says, "for the river gives its dream to those who promise to remember." The light begins to gather in the center of the river, forming a small orb that hovers above the water. It glows with shifting colors: blue of the sky, green of the forest, gold of the fire, white of the stars. "Take this," the spirit says. "It is the essence of flow, the balance of all things. Carry it with you, and you will never be lost." Even when the world grows silent, you reach out. The orb touches your palm, warm, weightless, alive. As it sinks into your skin, you feel the river inside you, flowing through your veins, beating with your pulse. The source has become part of you. The spirit begins to fade, its voice growing softer, blending with the river's endless hum. Remember, Dreamkeeper, the source is not a place. It is a promise. Wherever you go, the river flows with you. The mist around you thickens, the water brightens, and slowly the world begins to dissolve. The river carries you backward, or perhaps forward, through memories, through dreams, through time. You feel yourself descending through layers of light and shadow. Each layer hums with voices, the songs of the river, the laughter of the fire, the whisper of the wind. You recognize them now as parts of you, not apart from you. The current slows. You begin to see familiar shapes again: reeds, stones, stars above a quiet sky. You are returning to the world of dreams you left behind. Yet something has changed. The air feels different, fuller, awake. You sense the source within you, still glowing faintly like a lantern guiding your way. The river speaks one last time, softly, close, as though beside your ear. Go now, listener of the wind. Tell the stories that drift between silence and sound. Let your words ripple through others as mine have through you. And when you close your eyes again, you will find me waiting, always flowing, always dreaming. You drift toward rest, the glow of the source still warm within you. The river fades, but its hum lingers, a quiet reminder that every dream, every whisper, every breath is part of the same eternal flow. The river slows once more. Its voice softens into whispers, then into silence. You have drifted far tonight, through memory, through mystery, through the heart of the flow itself. As the river of dreams settles into stillness, so too does your spirit. Every story you've heard tonight, every voice beneath the water, every echo of wind, fire, and stone, they live within you now. The source has given its song to your heart, and when you wake, you will carry its rhythm quietly within your breath. Remember, you are never apart from the river. Every heartbeat, every sigh, every dream you dare to dream is a ripple returning home. Let the calm stay with you. Let the quiet of the water guide you through tomorrow. And when the world feels heavy again, When noise and hurry surround you, close your eyes and listen. You will hear it, the whisper of the river, the voice of the wind, the soft hum of peace waiting beneath it all. That is where you belong. That is where the dream continues. Pause. The flute carries the melody alone for a few seconds. Thank you for listening to this story from Whispers of the Wind. May your dreams be gentle, your spirit calm, and your nights filled with peace until the next whisper. Good night.